The iRacing NIS series is back for 2025, allowing all of us to live our dreams of becoming a stock car racer. My goal this year is to try to compete in all 36 races of the official Open Setup series and also compete in all 38 rounds of both the XFinity and the Truck series. That means a total of 112 races throughout the year. I only get one shot at each of these events though, so if I get wrecked on lap 1, that's my hopes for that week's race in that series over. This week we are racing here. Get yourself subscribed and help us reach our goal of 20,000 subscribers. In these videos, cautions will be removed, but all the racing laps are left in, so let's do this thing. Well, here we are then, hopefully the start of a very, very big journey in 2025. By my calculations, 112 races between the trucks, the XFinity, and the NASCAR Cup Series over the course of the year. I'm looking forward to it though. We didn't have a great qualifying here at Daytona. P15 on the grid, or as the number 5 car, as everybody already bunching up a whole lot. Apparently there's someone wrecking a little bit further behind. But hopefully, yeah, we can just get to the end of this first race and keep the car, or keep the truck even, I should say, out of trouble. As hopefully we'll get a nice clean start. Like I said, obviously cautions will be removed from the highlights. Because we've already got a couple of people trying to make their way out of the pit lane. But early on, it's just all about trying to stay in the draft as best as we can. Try and move a bit towards the front early on, because hopefully that will kind of keep us out of trouble a little bit more. So we'll try and get a run immediately then to the high side. I saw a gap, I'm going to try and go for it. Like I said, try and push a little bit further up towards the front of the order here. Of course, this is the Open Setup series. The races are a bit longer. This week I'm just using an iRacing default Open Setup though, just because I couldn't find anything else that kind of worked a bit better. But I think we're immediately then up into the top 10. But just immediately just getting a little bit nervous of people. Oh, that's not what you want to do, is it? I mean, we've done fairly well to avoid the worst of that. We got a 4x, but a wreck on lap 1. That is so ridiculous. Fuel-wise, though, we shouldn't be able to get to the end in one go. So I might just take a top up of fuel and then kind of go again. Well, I think a couple of the main culprits of that lap 1 wreck have now, well, either got a lap down or out of this race. The M&M's car was kind of the one I recognised there, and the pink one behind him that were both a bit all over the road. But yeah, a few people opted not to pit, so we are back down to P30 then. We did get all of the damage sorted, as, well, that guy's going to get himself a penalty by doing that. Because that is certainly not how you restart in this series as well. So I think a lot of people are trying to learn kind of how this all works. I mean, he's given himself an incredible run, but is he just trying to run through people? What on earth is going on? Why are people so slow? Have you got damage that you just haven't fixed up? I mean, we're already kind of splitting up into 2 groups here. This is not what we need. So got to try and get to the outside. Sorry, 23. We just all need to try and get around this guy. Yeah, not too sure what's wrong with him. That car has definitely got damage. Well, that truck again, I should probably say. So yeah, you can already see we kind of split out then into 2 groups here, so this does not bode well. This guy as well, very, very slow on the exit of the corner there. He's actually going to dive into the pit lane then, so yeah, I think there's definitely still some people with damage, but I mean, look how aggressive they're being up there. I mean, it's lap 7 of a 50-lap race here. It's not, you know, it's not the last lap or anything like that, and it seems like people are trying to be so aggressive to try and get towards the front. I mean, this is quite a low SOF race, as you can probably tell by the lap 1 crash. I'm hoping to get myself fairly quickly up over the 2k iRacing threshold if I can, but of course, yeah, Daytona is probably not the track, but you're going to be able to, you know, sort of guarantee yourself some iRacing pretty reliably. Is the guy just on my outside there? He's, I think, going to probably tuck back into the line. He's going to give me a little bit of a squeeze off the corner. There we go. The guy that definitely jumped the restart is going to serve that penalty. So, Yeah, I mean, still at the moment, we would not be able to get to the end on fuel if it went caution-free, but the way everybody's driving, I certainly don't believe that we're going to get to the end without issues. There's people opting for the high line then, so that's rather interesting early on. I would have thought you'd probably want to hang it towards the bottom of the circuit, but apparently not the case. But yeah, this season, of course, obviously, especially in the trucks and XFinity, I just really kind of want to learn. I want to take these first few races, kind of learn some of the nuance of these machines as well. So we're just going to try and hold on the outside. You know, it will take time. Like I said, I kind of want. I'm basically trying to learn all three in the space of one year, which is probably not necessarily the way you'd want to do it, but it's the way I'm going to do it because it is good fun, and I kind of enjoy all. You know, I enjoy all three separate series and their own nuance as well. To 17, then getting a nice big run on me back in towards turn 1 and turn 2. People are now starting to experiment a bit more. We're trying to go back down towards the inside line. So we might just get a little bit boxed out here. I'm not too worried too early on. So as long as we don't lose the draft, of course. That's kind of the big thing that actually matters. I mean, you've only got to be there with a couple of laps to go. It's kind of the only bit that's relevant in these kind of races. So we've got just a couple of slower guys as well. Again, I'm not going to try and do big shoves or anything like that too early. You know, it is completely pointless. You've got nothing to gain and everything to lose. Someone down below the apron there in towards turn 1. Too sure what they're attempting to do. Oh, we've got another guy slow in the wall. Can we just get through? Yes, we can. Oh, no, more collected. I think we're going to see another caution. Surely we're going to see a caution for that one. There are at least 2 of them in the fence. I think you need 3, though, now, for it actually to be a caution. There's clearly, yeah, it was only the 2 of them, and well, that first incident, I think, to be honest, we got very, very lucky to escape, because I'm pretty certain we were the last car that kind of made it through unscathed, or with very, very little damage in that one. Kind of right place at the right time, and it was kind of a good job that I tried to push as far forward as we did on lap 1, because if we'd hung a little bit further back, then we probably would have ended up in a worse situation, as it is just, yeah, these top 7 trucks. We've got no traffic or anything like that behind, so we're all just kind of sitting in at the moment. And you know, like I said, if we can just try and get towards, you know, at least into the second half of the race before we get another caution, that would be ideal. But I think the truck series anyway in real life has kind of become a little bit more chaotic anyway in recent years. You know, it's kind of gone the way of it's just guys that can afford to run it, pay drivers, and that are there that, you know, want to win it every single week, that kind of thing. I do intend on watching some of the NASCAR as well, at least early on in the season. I'm going to get myself... In the UK, you have to use, I think it's Viaplay. P6. It's alright. It's not fantastic, but I think you get the normal commentary, which is obviously the important bit as well there, so... We're making up a little bit more progress then. We're still behind the Kool-Aid car, which I absolutely love that livery. But, yeah, just starting to see people kind of fanning out a little bit more. Everybody just trying to stay out of trouble. You know, I think if you're up kind of with these top guys, most of these, I mean, all of these guys have got at least a bit of iRacing. So, especially kind of the 3K guys, you'd like to believe until you get to the final lap they'd be pretty good. And the other guys with 1500 hopefully have done a bit of oval racing in their time. The 7 car there really just rocking around, kind of swinging it this way and that, so I think we'll try and hold the high line back into turn 1, but always nice kind of when you get these longer runs, you know, just allows you to learn a bit more kind of about your truck, its strengths and weaknesses, other people's trucks, where they're good, where they might not be so good around this circuit as well. As yeah, these 2 are the high I raters, so I think I want to follow them as best as I can. See, oh, Conrad. Dude, Conrad, that's a pretty cool name. Looking pretty quick. I would assume those guys have probably got full custom setups made and everything like that here. But we're sat over 300 kilometers an hour, about 180 miles an hour at the moment, so we're looking fairly good. Again, we've got some traffic to try and deal with. As long as we just get around them, they don't cause too many problems. That's the important bit.
Because we are definitely losing numbers from this race. You tend to find that quite a few people obviously drop out lap 1. That kind of causes problems. As below the apron goes the 6 car. And Nine admittedly is just holding his line. Trying to stay out too many problems. And now we're going to be left on the high side as well. Kind of hung out to dry just a little bit. Can we tuck back in? Yes, we can. We will definitely do that. And hopefully we'll get a push as well. So the number 9 car, yeah, I think he's got decent speed still. Obviously, he just got a little bit lost. And of course, then, especially in pack racing like this, you're going to be 20 kilometers an hour slower. More than 10 miles an hour slower. Generally, if you lose that draft, you're going to be at least sort of 3-4 seconds a lap. So it doesn't actually take that long in these trucks before, the top runners have caught you back up again. The Kool-Aid car is scaring me a little bit. He seems to just be rocking around a bit more than I'd feel confident with following him. So the 23 and the 6 car there almost bumped doors. Holgerson will dive back in though. Just underneath him. There's just a lot of kind of rocking around from a lot of people. It doesn't take a lot before someone just gets hooked. There we go. New personal best of the day. 47.1. There's more and more cars into the pit lane now. I mean, the guy behind me is up to P15 and he's a lap down. So it's quite impressive how few of us are already on the lead lap early on. Those obviously only take 1 wreck. So you look at the speed we can carry down here. We lack a little bit right at the top. We'll give just a little bump there. Just let people know that we can do it. That's the 23 a little bit wide. He's going to give me the spot.
Still there.
Rather just tuck back in behind me there. Maybe thought that one bump I gave him was probably too aggressive. And thought, I don't want this guy on my bumper for all too long. Yeah, those top 2 though are rapid. It might well be that we can stick with them, but it might well be that we just haven't got the speed to get round them later on in the race. But a lot can change still, of course, between now and then. We definitely can get a bit of a run. It's just trying to get the run at the right time, and on lap 17, it's completely pointless. You really are just waiting for the final few laps in these races. But the first 45 laps of a 50-lap race here is just like trying to stay out of trouble. It's only the final kind of 5-10 laps, 10% of the race, where if you've been able to stay out of trouble, that's the only bit that kind of matters. You basically just try and spend a lot of the day trying to make friends as best as you can. But generally, people will throw each other under the bus. And obviously, as you get towards the end, which I kind of don't blame them for in a lot of cases. But yeah, it can just be a little bit awkward. Obviously, I'm going to do some of the Xfinity and Cup Series with Eugene. So we will, I'm sure, obviously if we're in the same split, we'll try and work together as best as we can. It's kind of what everybody else does. That is the awkward bit, and especially if we kind of get split up from each other or anything like that. That's when problems can obviously really arise. I expect NIS we won't end up same split, at least for a few weeks. Because he's got about 500 more iRacing than me. But maybe later on in the season, as kind of the numbers fall off, we stand a bit better of a chance as well. I mean, we're set comfortably in the 47.6s at the moment. We're almost up to lap 20. Of course, the other thing, of course, is there's still potential fuel mileage that could come into this. We will not get to the end at the moment. So that might really kind of divide up the pack as well. We're just kind of sat in. I feel fairly happy where I'm at. I don't think Jason in front of me can really get onto those 2 in front of him. So I think he's just kind of sat there in P3, and I'm happy to kind of sit behind him as best as we can as well. It's just that you feel as you come off the banking, the car can get a little bit loose and lively. But I don't know whether Seth, obviously in P1, might just obviously be using a little bit more fuel than everybody else. I'm sure I'll have his foot absolutely buried into the throttle in P1. It seems like people now are just getting a little bit more sensible for the most part. We might try and force the 7 out of it A little bit more. You're on the high side, sir. You take that risk. We will try and slot ourselves in then to P3. He's actually going to lose a couple of places as well in that one. He might just get shuffled right towards the back of this group. No, he tucks back in P... Well, effectively, obviously still P4 because the guy between us is a lap down. He seems a little bit sketchy. I'm watching him in the mirrors, but I don't think he's too bad.
Lap time was 47.
I think he can kind of keep it out of trouble for the most part. There we go. Immediately Jason coming back for it in towards turn 1. Again, we've got a couple of guys that are running a little bit slower. I need a bit of a push here, to be honest. Just need one potential push down the back stretch. So that guy kind of just hadn't committed to the inside. Look at the speed. Whoa. You're going to get a little bit of a push again. Oh, that's all kind of backing up behind. Just gave me a push just as we were trying to turn in. You can't really do that in these cars. It'll really, really cost you. I see there's only 13 trucks then on the lead lap now. Well, not even a half distance yet. Of course, one of them, and I mean, it should be JM, will get the lucky dog if we get it on a caution. But of course, there were a few guys that didn't take fuel at the first, obviously during that first caution, so they will have to box a little bit early. I say, I think my best course of action there is just to try and stick with these two. They seem to know what they're doing. But yeah, again, JM, they're just giving us a bit of a push right where I didn't need it. Just get a little bit loose and lively. It does seem pretty good that we're backing off of it as well, if there is going to be a problem. So I'm hoping he just doesn't drive through me at some point. I mean, it is such a different kind of motorsport, this, to, you know, most of what I'm used to. I do love it. You know, it's why I want to do more of it this year as well. 21 car making his way out of the pit lane. Yeah, we can just get a few good starts early on. Build up the iRACING. Oh, 6 in the wall! That might be problems. Yes, it is. And well, there we go. That might be another caution then. Or are they going to be able to keep it going? It's just given us now a top 3 that are able to pull away. Are we going to avoid another caution there? If so, that works fantastically for us 4 at the front, because we've got a gap now. Oh, there you go. I knew it would happen. That's fine. That's fine. We'll obviously take the fuel we need to, make sure we can get to the end safely in one piece. I will probably opt not to bother taking tyres, though, because we need to stay at the front. But more and more cars getting damaged then. This works well for us. Well, we're up to P2 then, ready for this next restart here. We're just over half distance, though, and already this race has felt like it's been quite a long one. But we should be able to go to the end now. The only thing that's confused me is that the two guys with much more iRacing both opted to pit again. So not too sure why that's happened, but we just got to try and keep up with the 3 off of the restart whenever he wants to go. There we go. We'll try and immediately tuck in just underneath him. Looks like people aren't trying to push too aggressively off of this next restart. But yeah, can't be a huge amount of us left on the lead lap at the moment. So we'll try and work with this guy as best as we can. Give him a little bit of a shove in towards turn 1. Just help everybody get up to speed just that little bit quicker here. So we'll try and give him some speed down the back straight as well. But immediately, yeah, pretty much back up then, up towards 180 miles an hour. Just give him one more into the corner, and then we will just back out. Oh, that's a big wreck, and that'll be a load more gone. Another caution, surely? Everybody's just got to try to avoid that. And well, that might be our 2 high iRacing guys gone. Not too sure what the guy behind me was doing. But again, we've avoided it. I think we're down to like 12 cars then, still on the lead lap, and no idea the 2 behind me are seemingly getting quite aggressive with each other. So again, I think we'll just try and do the same thing with Bernard off of the restart here. Just try and get in behind him as quickly as we can, and then try to just stay with him as, here we go, once again. Just going to go a little bit earlier that time. We've actually done quite well off the restart. Are we actually going to get the run in him? I think did he try and launch it in first gear? That might explain why we got such a run. Second gear is definitely the way to go. We'll try and just tuck it in front of him then, and again, hopefully we'll work together off of this restart. Dude, Conrad again moving back up, so I think he avoided too much of the chaos as well. Obviously one of our very high iRaters And yeah, I mean, he's just going to try and go around the outside of everybody then. As we make our way down the back stretch. We need a push from somebody, please. Otherwise, we're going to keep losing places there. Bernard will finally give me a little bit of a shove. So yeah, you can just see everybody starting just to get a little bit more desperate. A little bit more kind of wanting to try and put themselves in a position. And we've got another one. No idea what even happened that time. But I guess it was nice to not be near an incident for a change. Well, I've just had two guys trying to wreck each other under caution, which has been quite fun to try to avoid here. But 15 laps to go then here from Daytona. Still, I hope the second half of this race doesn't just become a wreck fest of everybody just in continual cautions. I don't even know how the kind of late race procedure goes in the truck series. But clearly, Conrad doesn't want to work with me there. Immediately starts a little bit high. Nope, we'll come back down a little bit. So clearly he wants to work with Jeff then rather than me, so I'm not too sure what I've done to make myself an enemy early on in this race. We'll try and just give him a little bit of a push. Try and get away from as many cars as we possibly can, otherwise you just get swallowed up by the time you get round to the backstretch here. And if I can try and make myself some friends, then I'm certainly going to aim to. And we've got another one. What on earth is going on? I mean, I guess the good thing is we can only get like 3 more cautions here, but this race is going to take over an hour at the rate we're going. What on earth? There's just been a huge wreck behind me under caution again. Ah, for God's sake, man. People are just wrecking each other for the sake of it now. We're not going green this time round, then. This is just becoming stupid.
Has just been disqualified.
Yeah, there you go. That seems about right. Someone's been DQ'd from this race. Don't know who that was. Car 22. If I think it's... yeah, it is Steppen, who was one of the guys wrecking people under caution. So I can't say I'm surprised by that, but a bit of a shame that, you know, start of a new season, everything like that. You know, it's a long old championship. I get that obviously Daytona people just want to do as the one-off, but it's a shame people don't take it a bit more seriously. Maybe with Steppen gone then, I might have been the one causing all the cautions towards the end of this one. He's definitely picked up his fair share of 4Xs as the evening went on, but I'm a little bit nervous. All 3 guys on the inside look very, very fast here. So let's just wait and see what we can do off of this restart. I don't know if they're working together or what's going on, but we'll just try and tuck in immediately kind of in there and, you know, try and stay out of trouble towards the end of this race as well. But yeah, like I said, if we can just get a couple of laps green would be nice, as Seth again has got a good run around the outside. So the number 2 is going to try and block him on the exit of the corner. We will try and give Kay a bit of a run, bit of a bump there, as yeah, now I think people are going to get a bit more aggressive towards the end of this one. We've just been swallowed up on the inside. It is really not what we need at the moment, but again, there could be more cautions between now and the end as the 10 tries to cut in low off of the tri-oval. Come on. Can we find an avenue back to the outside at some point? That's where all the fast guys seem to be. So I just have not got the confidence. That 10 car is just not looking very good. Whoa, there's a lot of bumping and bashing. We'll let the 6 by as well.
Still there.
I mean, look how quickly we've just been shuffled back off this restart, man. But yeah, that 10 car kind of just bouncing around a little bit does not fill me with much confidence. As now the momentum kind of comes back.
Still there.
To the inside once more.
Still there.
We'll try and carry the speed down the back stretch.
Still there.
The 17 surprise he didn't tuck back in when he could. But yeah, I mean, we're still not in a bad spot right now. There's less than 10 of us on the lead lap now. So really, as long as we can get to that final lap, we should hopefully be in a pretty good position. So I'll try. I mean, we're just not going to get anything up here, are we?
Still there.
It's a pretty futile exercise.
Still there.
I'm not too sure what's happened to the guys behind, but they've clearly dropped back.
That's good consistency. Keep it up.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do up here at the moment.
Hold your
So we
line.
are down to P6 then. Yeah, we'll let the 6 slot in front of me. Got the 10 actually coming up with me here. I mean, yeah, if anybody wants a chance at those top 2, they're going to have to try and work a different line. But I understand why people don't want to still. You know, with upwards of 10 laps still to go. It's been a long old race up to this point. There's still plenty more that could happen. I saw that looked very, very close. Through turn 3. I think we've just got to try and stay out of trouble, because it would not surprise me if that 10 wrecks someone at some point. He's got fairly decent iRacing. I think it's more his internet than anything else. Fairly decent iRacing for this lobby, I should probably say. But yeah, we just want to try and get to that last lap. I just want to be in a position where, you know, even if we can just get a decent result, I would take it. That's the 6 again, just kind of getting left a bit out. Oh, sorry, it's not him then, is it? It's Daniel Hill, isn't it? I mean, his iRating isn't bad.
Still there.
6 still trying to make something happen on the high side. Yeah, that top 2 just starting to pull away a little bit. I'd like to ideally just get past the 10. Those top 3 seem pretty safe still at the moment. So, the 8 there, lucky that I didn't try and slot in underneath him. Lucky that I backed out, otherwise he could have just gone straight over my nose. But yeah, that truck certainly has seen something today. I think our truck's still pretty clean for the most part. We've got no optionals on it. Yeah, just need to try and get past the 10, I think.
Hold your line. Clear outside.
There's a 6 happy just to hang there. Where's the 10 gone? It's disappeared. No, there he is. I don't know how that happened. Must have just been caught out behind somebody somewhere. Oh, I mean, look at this. It's starting just to get a bit aggressive. Come on, we just got to get to that final lap, lads. This race might take less than an hour if we can get caution-free to the flag. We'll try and give him a nice shove. See if that can instigate anything. There's a 6 again getting a nice rump.
He's still there.
Problem is, yeah, I think those top 2 have just got a bit more speed than anybody right now, so you need an almighty train of cars. Oh, that's too risky.
Clear high, E6.
6 gonna look for it. So if that 10 doesn't go back down low, then it might be worth trying to work. Oh, that's a shame. Just got a bit too much of a run on the 8.
Still there.
Is the 10 gonna slot back in? No, he's not.
Still there.
Oh, I wanted to try and duck back in, but the 8 just didn't have the speed off the corner. Now it's got to be our chance, as long as the 10 doesn't manage it. I think he might, though. Oh, no. That's not good.
Got a car outside. Pace car's out. We're under
caution. There you go, pace car. Luckily, as long as we keep it out the wall, hopefully... Oh, that's a big hit.
You have 8 incident points.
Oh, I think we've got a bit of damage there. That's annoying. Oh yeah, we definitely picked up some damage there. I don't know how much it'll be when we get running into the pits, but... Oh, that's annoying. We've definitely... The engine, I think, is fine. I think it's just the wheel that's slightly knocked out, but that is a real shame towards the end. We cannot go a lap down here late on. So, we haven't got a meatball, though. That's the important bit, so we've got no required repairs. So we'll just try and get as much of the damage sorted as we can. Well, the car is definitely not perfect, but hopefully we're going to catch back up with everybody else ready for this final race restart then. I believe you only get 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish inside the truck series. But yeah, I think we've got enough speed in the car still. It just feels very loose and lively through the corners. So just want to make sure we close in. We're still on the lead lap. That's the important bit. So if there's one more wreck up towards the front of the order. I mean, look how few trucks there are left in this race. It really has been chaotic up to this point. Alan, I don't think he's going to have a chance to catch up to everybody, but he might be able to use that speed off of the restart here. But yeah, we're just behind all of our lapped cars. So we've just got to try and go. Let's just see the checkered flag here at Daytona. This race has taken over an hour. Obviously, I can't do anything until we cross the start-finish line. But hopefully we'll be able to get some sort of run then. There's 2 laps to go. Oh no, 1 more lap to go, sorry. I believe. So this is the final lap then of this race. Are we going to see another wreck right towards the end? You can see they're really trying to push each other up towards the front of the order. We've just got to keep our foot to the floor and hope that we can get a run somewhere. Even if we can just get past one of these guys that we're actually battling with, that'll be good. As you can see... Milan there, probably the one we want to try and stick with here. Down in towards the final couple of corners. Top 4, I think, are gone, to be completely honest. So we're going to have to make it 3 wide. Down the inside of Milan. We had to make it happen. Can we try and get a run? Oh, on the 10 as well. I don't think we are up towards the checkered flag. No, there is definitely one more after this one. There we go. White flag's now out. You can just see how lively this car is. On the kind of whenever you try and go around a corner, it is constantly trying to break free from us. But yeah, top 2 are just gone. So I think we can still get Daniel, though, and get a top 5 finish here, which I would take to kick-start the year. We'll wait and see, though, to try and put the power down. I mean, there could still be a wreck up the front. You never know what might happen here at Daytona until you get round to that checkered flag, but just seem to be lacking a little bit of straight-line speed. In towards the banking, though, for the final time, trying to keep the car nice and stable as best as we can. Are we going to be able to get enough of a run towards the checkered flag? I don't think we are. At that final corner, Daniel again makes a little bit of an error. Can we try and work with the 9 to get around him? Oh, no we can't. We had to send it. We had to try and send it. Over the line we go, though. P6. We'll take it. We will absolutely take it in the end. What was the gap? We were 4/100ths of a second away from Daniel in the end there. But you know what? I think to survive Daytona, especially on the lead lap still, was something that not many people could claim from the end of this race. We won't bother doing the instant report in this series just because there's so many kind of wrecks and things like that. So let's go take a look at our final results and some nice fireworks as well. Well, there we are then, taking a look at our final race results. We did lose 0.18 SR in the end, just obviously from those incidents right towards the end. But 37 iRACING, it's not as good as it could have been, but I guess, you know, we're slowly bringing it up in the right direction there. Dude Conrad from 22nd on the grid to take the victory when all is said and done. A very, very good job. Seth in P2. And then Bernard in P3. Those were kind of like, I think Jeff as well. They were kind of the guys I wanted to stick with, but after that last wreck, unfortunately, yeah, Daniel a little bit all over the place. You'd never guess with the way he was flying around that he had an Australian internet connection, would you? We come through for 6th, though, ahead of Milan and JM Trigo there, so I guess we were top Brit in that race, and, well, there were only 2, I think, of us in the end. Where was the guy that got disqualified? Can't see his name showing up anywhere. There we go, Stepan. He's got 820 iRating. He's at a C2.06, so clearly he doesn't just wreck people every single time. But yeah, he definitely got involved in a lot of incidents nonetheless. But there we go. Done and dusted. First race of the NASCAR season. I guess that's 1 of 112 ticked off. A massive thank you to everybody for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get yourself subscribed. Next up then is the XFinity race.